All right, we're live. Hey, how you doing, guys?
Can you guys see our view? We need to change that a little, huh?
Yeah, a little
There we go.
like that.
Is that better? Can you guys see?
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, it's the Honeydew Carpenter and the always beautiful Mrs. Honeydew Carpenter. We're on our homestead up in North Idaho, and it's springtime.
It has been a super busy week. Oh
Yeah.
man, we've been running around with our heads cut off.
It's green. It's beautiful. It's that time of year for preparing and getting your gardens in and doing all the stuff that you do. And just yesterday I was on an excavator cutting out a house pad for a friend. They had rented it and whatnot, and I'm pretty good on heavy equipment and stuff, and so we went over and helped them and helped them cut out a septic system for their house, which they weren't going to do, but because they just didn't have the specialized knowledge to do it. And anyways, it's a time for communities to come together and just kind of help each other out and share our talents and whatnot. And this morning we kind of had a little bit of a we're on a little bit late because we were setting up out here, and just right below us on our property we heard some crying of an animal, and there's an injured baby deer that looks like it was just born last night. But you hear the coyotes out here yipping around and everything, and for whatever reason it's still alive. But so anyways, we're gonna try and bottle feed it and see what we can do to bring it back to life.
Right. Our dogs, we think, chased off the coyotes at some point because they kept going up to the same area and just sitting.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
They actually led us to the injured deer. We have two dogs, an Australian Shepherd, and they bond with the animals. The deer come right around. They don't bug the deer or anything. And our chickens, they'll just sit in the chicken coop with them. And these are the two breed of dogs that we have. We have an Australian Shepherd, and we have a mountain dog. A Great Pyrenees.
We also have a Staffordshire.
Yeah, and a Stafford.
Don't forget about the Staffordshire.
Yeah. The Staffordshire. She's awesome too. She's a little mama. She'll take care of the kittens and everything.
Bill says, hi guys. Well, hi Bill. Tim says, hey, yes, we can see the view. It's lovely. Oh, good. Thank you for answering that. And he says, greetings from Mesa, Arizona. Good morning to you and Melanie and Darwin. Well, thank you, Tim. John says that is the way it used to be.
Right? That's what I'm finding out around here. It was, Melanie just got 20 new chicks to brood. And I was coming home from my friend's place, and it was a little bit after 5. And she called and said, I don't have any chick starter or whatnot. And I'm like, well, I'm in town. I know they're closed, but I'll run over and see if he's still there. And, I ran over to the feed store, and the guy who runs it, he was still there. He was just closing his gate and getting ready to lock it up. He'd already locked the front door. And he just was like, oh, what are you after? And I'm like, my wife came home with 20 new chicks, and we don't have any chick starter. And he's like, let me go get you some. And, in the city, they're like, well, we're closed. You can come back tomorrow or something like that. But around here in these small towns, it's
I didn't mean to get 20 new chicks, but baby chicks are so cute, and they multiply. I only went for 10. They multiply. Nice signal, John says. Thank you, John. Cheapy Little Guy 9 says, Darwin and Melanie in the rolling hills. Thank you. John says, here in Arizona, good morning. John says, exactly. Yeah, so we've been doing, honestly, a lot of barter and trading with like our neighbors. So because Darwin has some experience on the excavator, he'll go and help them, and whatever they can do to help back, they were trading, and it's been amazing because during that, Darwin got rock that our neighbor had just sitting on his place that he actually wanted removed for free. So instead of having to pay for a truckload of rock, of like 30 truckloads of rock, we got it for free. We still have to pay for the transport, but he wanted it gone and we needed it, and it just worked out great.
Right. Yeah, I went over and actually he's building a house pad for his brother on their property, and I went ahead and helped him dig out a house pad and whatnot. And then our other neighbor who has dump trucks and the equipment and stuff, of course you can't expect him to run that stuff for free. He's gonna bulldoze and everything. But here's the point, guys. We were really struggling with how are we gonna put on a Aircrete workshop when all the flat spots that I have excavated out
If it gets a little wet, it turns muddy.
If it rains, it turns to mud and whatnot. And so we're trying to desperately get the infrastructure up so that we have places for people to pitch tents and park and do everything they need to do so they can stay on our property and we can do these workshops. And it just seems like that was the intent we put out, and everything is just falling together. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I've got rock, you know, if your other neighbor can transport it. And I had him come and give a bid to get it transported, and we didn't know how we were going to pay for that, and then that all fell into place. And so it looks like we are going to be able to have the infrastructure up. We did have we did another barter deal with someone else that I cut a house pad out. They rented the machine for a whole month, and I worked the machine on their property for 2 weeks in exchange for bringing it over to our property. And so we were able to dig down to our main water line and run some other hydrants up to these other places and infrastructure so that when people come, they'll have hydrant and have water and stuff. So it looks like everything is going to come together. We were hoping to have that Aircrete class the last week of this month. But the rock hasn't got up there yet, you know, and the road hasn't got completely rocked into our upper pad. And when I say upper pad, I mean it's huge. You know, it's a place where you could park 50 cars, you know. And so I think on the estimate, he estimated 78 truckloads of rock to rock it, you know. And so it's a big infrastructure push that we're doing right now so that we can facilitate inviting people up here to learn at our workshops. And, you know, we want to put the price down to where people can afford it, but we want to still be able to pay for a little bit of this infrastructure that we're getting put up. So we haven't figured out the exact price point, but I'm really excited about how everything's coming together.
Oh wow, Bruce, that's amazing. Thank you. Bruce just sent $20. That's amazing, Bruce. Thank you. That'll help. Good morning. More coffee, half a bag of Chick Starter, 3.5 gallons of gasoline. Yes. Good morning. Yes. And thank you. Tubular Guy 9 says, bringing home young chicks. I like that in a wife. Thank you. I believe that very soon we will all be trading and bartering things continue in its current path. We agree. Yeah.
We are.
So if you can, find some good neighbors that are close by.
Right. And, you know, that's one thing that I was thinking about with like our rocket stove plans and whatnot. You know, they're anticipating rolling blackouts and all these other things that could happen given the current climate and the circumstances of what's going on out there. And people are going to need a way to keep their families warm. And these rocket stove plans, man, go onto Koji or go onto Etsy and buy the plans and at least have them there so that, if something does go down or whatever, you can rely on your community and say, well, I've got the solution. If you can help us, your machine shop guy or whatever, if they can help weld some things together or do whatever needs to be done in order to do it, I mean, it's all there. So
Aircrete Harry, oh hi, he says good morning. John says better to build those relationships now rather than when things go south. I agree.
Right.
Tubular guy 9 says thumbs up. So yes, thank you. Jeff Cuppy says morning. Any Aircrete poured yet? Not yet. We've been busy building relationships and
doing infrastructure and stuff so that we can have people come and do it.
And we are trying to wait to have people learn with us if they are interested.
Right.
We don't want to, so Patreon. Oh, Beaver Creek Farm Life, thank you so much. He put our Patreon account up, our Etsy up, and Jeff says hit the like button. Yes, you guys are amazing. Thank you. And he put our Koji and our email, Do Carpenter 1. Thank you for doing all that, Beaver Creek Farm. That's amazing. So nice.
Yeah, it is. I want to go in and check on our baby deer.
Right. Do you guys have any questions for us? We're looking at maybe the middle of July right now for the Aircrete class.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, if anyone has some suggestions, we want to do it, before people are getting ready to send their kids back to school and stuff.
Yeah, so, and there's places you can camp on our property and you'll have access to water. We can bring in a porta potty, but it's not going to, it'd be camping. And other than that, there are some places to rent.
Yeah, there are some places that you could stay. We have a relationship with a gentleman who has a bed and breakfast, and it's a really nice.
It's classy.
It's classy. It's a French villa, and then he also has some cabins and whatnot on his property.
Yeah.
And eventually, we would like to get some cabins up where we can have guests stay and whatnot.
Right, that'd be awesome.
But
Bill says hi. Hi, Bill. And Jeff says, how far to the nearest hotels?
7 miles?
3 miles down 4 miles down the hill and then 7.
Oh,
into Kamei,
yeah,
pretty much.
into Kamei. So 11 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
11 miles
it's about a
away,
20-minute drive.
Yeah, so it's not bad.
Yeah, so it's not bad. And we're about 12 minutes from the grocery store up here. I know it looks completely remote, but we do, at the bottom of the hill, we do have a town down by the river of, what's the population, 600 people or something?
Something like that. It's nice.
Yeah. And then a few miles over, there's another town of 290 people. And then 7 miles the other direction on Highway 12, you have Kamei, which is, I think, 1,200 people. And there's also a grocery store there. And
so the hotels.
And there's several hotels and whatnot.
Yeah. But you guys would be welcome to bring campers too if you wanted. There's no hookups, but yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever works the best is what we're saying. John. Okay, let me see where. Okay, there we are. Oh, Beaver Creek Farm Life, you remembered. You're so sweet. Happy birthday, Melanie. I hope Darwin did and made you something special. We were actually traveling and loading, and so I was driving a U-Haul on my birthday, but Darwin did take me out to a nice lunch for my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was awesome. But like I said, it's been a really busy week. We went down and rented a U-Haul, and then we had trouble because they're like, oh no, we want the big ones for in town. You can't do that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
You should have marked that off like 3 months ago if you wanted a big one. We're like, what? We learned that a few things, yeah. So we got a U-Haul up here with some things in it that we needed, and whew, it's been busy. We were out of service for a little while, but yeah, thank you for that. Wish I could make it, but like Bob Dylan, I'm stuck inside of a mobile. John says, happy birthday. Thank you, guys. 10 miles to sleep with a mountain lion. There's no mountain lion here. We chased it away.
Yeah, we chased it away.
Bernard says, greetings from Ireland. I'd love to see more Aircrete and stove content. Okay, we need to get those out, and we will.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, though. Tubular Guy 9 says, and happy birthday, Mel. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you. Beaver Creek says, what is the weather like? 93, 60% humidity here.
Oh, I don't know. It's about 70 degrees or 68 degrees and maybe 70% humidity.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I haven't looked at the weather today.
But Mrs. Honeydew's in a tank top and outside and not shivering, so it's really good.
Right? Awesome. All right. Well, you guys, thank you everyone for joining us today, and thank you for all your support and everything. We love you guys. Have a great day, okay?
Love you guys.